Hey. Oh,
Hello.
good evening.
Good evening. How are you, Richard?
Yeah, good. You?
Good. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good, good.
I'm finished dinner right now. Right
Oh,
now,
okay.
5 minutes ago. I just have a coffee to take, but we can start. We can start.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I was just telling all the guys that there's only a couple people watching at the minute, but people have assured me that they'll be jumping on later on. That you and you and myself will just talk about, discuss where you find them, their habitat, that kind of thing, and then we'll open up the questions for people then to ask us some questions.
Okay, let's do
That's
it.
okay. That's okay with you?
Yes, I'm here for that. So,
Cool.
any questions? Because I imagine the people have a lot of curiosity to know things about Amazon, because it's not a place where everybody can go and go, because
Yeah, that's true.
it's not so simple like that. You can go to Amazon, but you cannot diving in the rivers with some safety, with some security, because we have anacondas, alligators, piranhas. We have a lot of danger animals.
Yeah, poisonous snakes and spiders and
Yeah, spiders. I think it's not the problem. The problem, for me, honestly, it's the alligators and the anacondas. That is what I have more fear. Fishermen don't have fear of that. They don't have fear of anacondas. They have respect, of course. For example, I have a partner, a fisherman, who I start with Santerems, and with 10 years old, he starts killing crocodiles with the father to sell the skin. More or less 14 years ago, 40 years ago. So when he see an alligator, he kill, or to eat now, or just for fun. I don't have, I don't like it when he comes to the boat with a big alligator, But it's something he have in the blood,
yeah.
The alligator is like a dog for us, in Europe, but it's a little different.
Yeah, I suppose if you grow up around it, it's not so bad. If it's something, and it's a different way of life out there as well, isn't it? So, I mean, a lot of people will go, "Oh my God, he kills alligators for fun," but it's like, well, this is where they live. They eat that stuff.
Of course. It's because I tell you, go to Amazon. Okay, it's possible, of course, but well, you need to be with someone who knows very well the place and who born there. If not, can be really dangerous, of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, you hear stories all the time about Brazil and Sao Paulo and places like that in Brazil.
But that is a kind of other animals, because it's living in Brazil is not easy. Well, I never have problems in Brazil. I lived there for 14 years, and I never have any kind nobody stole me, nobody wants to kill me. Well, I never have problems, but I think all the time I be a little smart, because all the time I'm near for people, good people, and people who I can trust. Takes time, but happens also in Brazil.
Yeah, because it's funny, like in the UK, and I don't know what it's like in the rest of Europe, but there's this taboo, I suppose, around taking fish from the wild and putting them in a fish tank. People don't seem to like it, but what a lot of people don't realize is I was looking at it supports the local economy.
Of course, and it's important to say, for example, in my state, the state of Pará, where the big part of Amazon is in this state, and the pure Amazon still not in the state of Manaus, but in the state of Pará. We have a quota to take fish from the environment. So yeah. we cannot take more than 4,000 of fish. 4,000, 4,000, right? 4,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so If died any fish in these 4,000, okay, we cannot export more than 4,000 and take more than 4,000, and that is controlled for a platform in the internet for the Ministry of Environment and from IBAMA. So everything is controlled. Is not
Yeah.
take fish like in the past. The past is no control. Now, yeah, okay, is some control. Is some control.
Am I right in thinking? I'm guessing you're aware of is it Project Piaba or
Yeah, it's in Manaus. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they based by collecting. I think it's the cardinal tetra, isn't it?
Yep.
By collecting the cardinal tetra, which would usually die in the dry season, that helps support a local economy and helps to stop deforestation.
Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly the project because Manaus from Santarém, for you understand, is more or less 1 hour by a commercial flight. So I don't know how long you take from the Wales to London, but it's far away. It's 1 hour by a commercial flight. It's a lot of.
Well, I can drive to London from where I am in Wales in an hour and a half.
Oh, but like you imagine, getting Amazon is impossible because we don't have roads, and by boat, for you have idea, for boat between Santarém and Manaus, it's 3 days.
3 days.
3 days. In my boat, I take 4 days and a half. The boat of the line is 3 days to go and to back. 3 days to go, 3 days to back. So it's too far away, and we still don't have a road to go by car.
Oh, okay.
So well, the roads is the river, I don't need to have a good car in Amazon because it's not necessary. What I needed to have a boat, it's what I have. So I don't know the Piaba project because it's in Manaus. It's a little far away from me. But I know they make a good work, and I try to make this more or less the same without any kind of projects to support the communities.
Yeah.
But it's not so easy like that because imagine, I'm a Portuguese, I'm not a Brazilian, I'm Portuguese, I'm born in Portugal, I live all my life in Portugal, and when I arrive to support some communities, they ask me, why you want to support us? Because you come from Portugal, it's for the fish, no, I pay the fish, you fishing, I select and I pay you all the time. It's not because that, it's because I want to you have a better life, a good quality of life, don't need to, sometimes you don't have nothing to eat. So can I support you? And I speak with Tropical support me. And we speak about in each food, flakes or grains, give a small percentage for a community. And for the what? For buy chickens and breeding chickens or ducks or something else. I don't know. We have some plans for like that. But the community, one of them, they made a meeting. All of the communities have a chief, a boss. And after the meeting with all the people of the community, they say, no, we don't want your support. It's something strange. Why you come to Brazil and come to this community and want to give us something? They're afraid. They're
naturally
afraid.
Suspicious, are they?
Exactly, because in the past many people comes there to stole, and so I have some fear. And I know many cases or many communities, they don't sell fish anymore because some guys come and stole the fish and say they're gonna pay next days and don't never come to pay. And so, these kind of things, because they are poor people, the people try to. Well, I have the word, but it's not a good word. You know what I mean. They comes there and they see they are people with no education, people without school, poor people. So let's try to stole everything they have and liar and don't give any kind of money. That is the mentality of the people in the past who work with fish and who meet this kind of people. And I try make exactly the other thing. I try to support, to help,
Yeah.
because if I help, they're gonna help me. That is
Yeah,
the
that's
point.
right.
That is life. That is life. If I help you, you're gonna help me one day.
Well,
It's
yeah, that's
life.
right. It's like anything, isn't it? You look after your workers, and your workers will look after you. That's the way it works.
Exactly, exactly.
You know,
But
you.
but it's not so easy like that. I in some in a few years I offer, for example, in the day of the children, I go to the communities and I offer toys and something like that for the sons of the fishermen, and I do that for many years. And when the last time I do that in one committee, a father comes to I listen what the father say. I give a toy for the boy. It's a car. I remember a car, not expensive. I give the car. He's very happy because the father don't give nothing, don't have money, or he don't care. He prefer to drink with that money he win. And I listen the father say, these guys wants to buy us. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
What the idea? The guy say, okay, the Portuguese give the car for my son because he wants to buy us. No, that is not the intention, you know, because
No.
I'm just go there to buy the fish and I pay all the fish. So I don't need to buy nobody. I offer because I like to offer. And one day the children, when they see me, they remember me and remember the Portuguese who comes to Amazon for work with fish and give something to them. But it's not a claim. It's the mentality of the people, and I need to respect. And I cannot change
Yeah.
the culture, you know.
Well,
So
well, that's it. I mean, we got to say in here in the UK. I mean, I don't know if it's the same with you. Once bitten, twice shy. So basically, it means they've been robbed from before, so they're naturally suspicious now for anybody that comes and is trying to be nice to them.
of course, that is that for sure. And some of the fishermen I have more close at me after these years. They speak about that. They don't like to tell the stories, but sometimes with some beers and they start talking and they have a lot of problems in the past. So
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, yeah.
I understand.
That's right.
It's
So
normal.
naturally suspicious. It's fair enough, isn't it? So what got you into? How did you first become interested in discus, and sort of what led you into importing from going over to Amazon and importing wilds?
Wow, this is a nice story. 9 years ago, 39. I have some problems with the numbers in English. You're gonna understand.
That's fine. I understand. Yeah.
9 years ago.
39.
Yeah, 39. I breed canaries.
Okay.
Canary, okay.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with my lung.
For your chest. Yeah.
Yeah, with the canaries. And stop with the canaries. The doctors say you need to stop with that hobby, and found another hobby. Can be butterflies, for example. Well, I like the animals, so I go to a shop, and with a friend of mine who has fish, I decide to buy 2 discos and start the fishes. I'm infected, like I say all the time, with some of my customers who buy 2 discos, 10 discos, 20 discos. I say you are infected. It's not coronavirus, but you are infected. You have the virus with the discos.
Yes.
You know how is it, and I still have that. I mean, I'm still infected. So I stop with the canaries. I buy an aquarium and everything starts. I buy 2, 4, 6. I start breeding babies, and then I have more than 10 aquariums at home. Then starts a new room with aquariums, second room with aquariums, and then comes a veterinary and asks me if I don't want to open a shop in Portugal. We decide to open. He's my partner, he's veterinary, a doctor, and I learned many things about disease with him because he have a good microscope many years ago. So, and that is the beginning. And after have these 2 shops, I make a place just to import discos. I start to import wild discos, but with how I can say that the wild discos I import all the time they die, and they come very skinning, and no quality. So in my idea, wild discos, it's not good. It's sorry, the word is a shit because they die all the time. So it's not a good business, and
No.
I cannot keep for a long time. So that is my idea about wild discos. Well, after all these years, I'm divorced, and the business in Portugal is not like in the past. So one day, one of my competitors now in Brazil invite me to work with him and to start breeding wild discos. So I decide one day buy a ticket and fly to Brazil. So I say, I have two daughters, and I say, well, the father comes. I need to go. I'm not well because of the divorce, you understand, and well,
Yeah.
the business no good and everything at the same time,
So you don't have the
Portugal,
shop. You don't have the shops anymore.
no, here, then I close everything and I sell everything, and with that money I invest in Brazil. So I go to Brazil in the way one day for other. I just buy a ticket and next day I go. I don't think too much, So it's a crazy decision, but it's like that. So I say the father comes, waiting for the father. Father gonna speak with you daughters by Skype or something like that. And I go to Brazil, so I start working with that guy. What's happened is it's when I arrived to working with this guy, this guy don't have any kind of discos. He just have salt water. So I'm a little disappointed. But we start speaking what we're gonna do, and he say, well, next year we're gonna have wild discos, and we start next year. Buying wild discos and selling wild discos. And after 1 year working with him, he don't need any more Hugo. So he give me a kicky off, and in my ass and say, go away, I don't need you anymore. So thank you for everything I learned with you, but you are not anymore necessary here. So I come to Portugal, and then I decide go to this place, Santarém, the state of Pará, and well, everything starts. I start with the guy who take me everything I have in Brazil. I give a lot of money for the farm, and one day he disappeared, so it's not a good start. And after 1 year, I sell one car I have in Portugal and one house I have here. Is everything I have in that moment, and I start Santerems, and until now it's my story. So I come to Brazil to Brazil because I'm not well in Portugal, and I want to learn a little more about wild discos, because I have breeding a lot of domestic discos. It's all my life I breeding wild discos, but wild discos is more difficult to breed, and we don't have in Portugal good wild discos. So what's happening is I need to learn a little more about wild discos. Is because that is the reason I go to Brazil. Of course, some problems comes with me, the divorce and the business in Portugal is not well. Many economic problems in Portugal in that time. It's more or less 14 or 15 years ago. And, well, it's a good decision. And I'm happy to do that. It's a very good experience. And I'm going to keep that experience in all my life, in my mind, because living in another country, we grow up. And at the same time, I'm doing what I like, because I'm infected, it's the problem.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine, he's a tattoo artist, and he said to me once, he said, if you do a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes, it's true. It's absolutely true. I think you feel the same, right?
Yeah.
You like what you do, right?
Yeah. I mean, I started my business. I mean, I've been involved in the aquarium hobby on and off.
Yeah.
30 plus years now, 30.
Yeah.
And I turn 40 next week. So I've been keeping fish of some description since I was a kid. What got me into the hobby was my grandfather's tank. He had a tank built into his wall, and I used to sit on a chair and just stare at the fish. And then one day I saw a red spotted green Tefe discus in a book.
The book.
Yeah, it was the first discus I ever saw. It was in a book. And I remember it because it had like purple on it and it had like red spots on it. And I thought, oh, that fish is stunning. I got to have one of those one day. And then I kept various fish over the years. And I had my first, funny enough, my first discus were actually really high grade because a friend of mine, he's very fussy with his discus. They've got to be perfectly round and they've got to have, the eye can't be too big because then it looks out of proportion with the body. And then I kind of developed that, and I like to have a red eye on a fish if I can.
Everybody.
Because obviously not all discus have red eyes, but you know.
I know. But that is a detail very important for me. But I tell you what I think, because in the last years I just work with wholesalers, so I export from Brazil to big farms, right, in all over the world, and now I work.
You supply Jack Watley, don't you? Jack Watley.
Gabriel
Yeah.
Posada. It's a little different, Gabriel Posada from Jack Watley. Jack is a very fantastic man. He's my guru, you know. And I've been with him 5 years ago. I've been in Miami and I visit him, and he's a very friendly guy, and I love the guy. Also, Gabe is a good friend. But I don't want to talk about my customers and my wholesalers, you know, because some I have good reasons to speak, that the other ones I have bad reasons to speak. So I prefer not to speak about the bad reasons.
Fair enough.
So I think I lost. Now what
we were talking about the shape of the disc, the red eye. Yeah.
For the now I have another business here in Portugal because I sell to private people, right? It's not for the wholesalers. The wholesalers, they want, like you say, the fish round, the proportion of the fish, the color of the eye. So the details for the wholesalers, most of them who work with me, the details are very important. For the private, for what I see, they don't. Just a few of them, they care about that details, you know, because they. I don't know, but if the fish have the red eye or the yellow eye, they don't care. If the fish is not proportional, they don't care. But it's different. It's a different business, you know. And I think a few people understand what is a really good fish. For my 1 year, this business in Portugal have 1 year. We make 1 year in last July, and. Few people understand what is a really good fish, like you told me. The small eye, the red one, the shape must be round, the pattern, the color. So few people care about that. Is what I understand after 1 year sell for private, you know. And also the price of my fish depend of that. I don't know if I'm gonna change, but. When the fish are really good, I must sell the fish expensive because it's difficult to find another one like that. And I never know if in the jungle I'm going to find something similar, you know, because we never know. It's
well,
lucky.
I have noticed from the wild fish seem to be a lot better shape than domestics.
Bad shape?
Better shape.
Oh, no. You see good shapes because I stay in the middle of the jungle for months, and I see thousands of fish. And the people who comes in my expedition, sometimes they don't understand why I send so good fish again to the environment. Because for them, they're looking for the fish and they say it's unbelievable, it's fantastic, and I say okay, so goes again to the river, and they say why? Because small defects, or because it's not round, or because the eye, or because the pattern, or because I looking for the fish and I know that fish is not going to have a good color. That is my experience.
Because the majority of the wilds you get are adults, aren't they? They're large fish. Because I don't think I'm not sure if are you allowed to take small fish, or have they got to be a certain size?
No, I'm allowed to take small fish. I don't have small fish for 2 reasons. First, the fishermen sell the small and the large for the same price.
Ah, okay.
And I cannot sell for the same price.
No, that's right.
Second, the small fish is more difficult to keep. You know, to be, if they don't eat a lot, they're gonna be very skinning in a few weeks, and that don't happen with the adult fish with 12, 14, 15 centimeters. You know, and so is the reason I don't take the small ones. Is this one? But this year I think I'm gonna change a little, because what I see in this farm is I take some fish with 11, 10 centimeters, and they grow up a lot in a few months.
Yeah, well, the fish I've got on order, they're 10 centimeters, so 4 inch, just under 4 inch. So because I won't take smaller, because people say, oh yeah, you buy smaller fish, they're cheaper. You know, you get them, you know, this big and they're cheaper. But yeah, you've got to feed them like 3 to 5 times a day. You've got to do like 3, 4, 5 water changes a week, because your water gets filthy. You can't keep small discus this big in a planted display tank, because the water gets filthy and you're just going to pollute their water. So that's another reason, because a sub-adult sort of 4 inch fish, yeah, you can get away with feeding them once a day, a good meal once a day, maybe twice a day.
Here, because we have time for that, because, well, we start at 8, and many times I'm still here until 10 o'clock at night, and sometimes 11, depends, because I'm infected, you know, that is the problem. And sometimes I working all my day. I can live in here, this farm is more important for me than my house, because I live in more hours here than in my house. It's normal for the guy infected.
You're still there now, if I remember.
Yeah, I'm still here now. But it's normal to stay here, to take pictures, and to prepare the pictures, and to make the logos, and then I make a video, and then I stop in the front of an aquarium and looking for one fish. I imagine I never see this fish. Oh, I never see this fish. I have so many fish. Sometimes comes one, I suppose I never see him. And of course, I have select the fish, but well, it's different. It changed a little, and it's different. It's better, and sometimes happens. So it's a vicious, man. This is a big problem, because I don't have social life, and after coronavirus, more problems I have, because no friends here near. But when everything okay, I don't have social life, because I live for this. I live for the fish. That is the problem.
Yeah.
But it's and when you have so many good fish, it's how I say. I'm gonna tell you this. Sometimes people buy me fish, and expensive fish, and sometimes I don't cry. Okay, I don't cry. That happens. That happens in the past. Now I don't cry when I sell some good fish. But I'm looking for the fish and say, oh my goodness. If I win the lottery, I never sell this fish. I'm gonna keep this fish for 10 years, you know. So you see how much infected I'm
yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. I think if I did your job, I think my wife would kill me, because I'd want to keep everything. Oh, that's too nice. I want to sell it.
I have some luck in that, because my wife works with me. My wife is Brazilian. I meet her in Amazon. And she's my left arm, and the right arm is very important in this business. We make a good team, and he have the reason. You know, he's the guy. He's the here, and he say all the time, sell the fish. Don't keep the fish. Put the fish for sale. Take pictures and sell the fish, because this is a business, and I need to pay the electricity and the water and the workers here, you know, and I cannot keep all the good fish for me. I want to breed them, of course, but I cannot keep every of them. You know. It's crazy.
So, where do you concentrate when you go to collect fish? Do you concentrate mainly in like one river, or do you go all around? Because I know you discovered a newer species recently, didn't you?
I say it's golden, because I cannot say where is the place. If I say the name of the community, like in the past, the other competitors next year or next season wanna stay there and wanna also fishing in that place.
Yeah.
But I all the time I'm running. The 3-4 months I stay in Amazon, it's running in different communities in different places, and everything is far away. So we never stop. Sometimes we stop 1 week in one community because when we arrive, the fishermen don't catch anything. So we need to pressure the guys to working, and we ask, do you want to make money? And why you don't fishing? And they say all the time they have excuse, or the father is sick, or he have drink a lot and it's 3 days to be better. So sometimes we lost 1 week in one place because we make a lot of pressure for the guys fishing, and I need to stay there to select the fish what I want. So sometimes I stay 1 week in one place, then the fish stay in the boat, and then I go to another place. In the boat we have place to put the fish with oxygen, and we change the water and we start giving food. So sometimes the fish stay in the boat more than 1 month. When I have the quantity to return to Santerems, well, okay, we'll return. So it's also how I say, it's a lot of working because we need to change. We don't have a good filtration system. It's just water running, and we just change water and giving food. So and sometimes medicaments. We start some medicaments sometimes there. When some problems comes, we put some medicaments because we keep the fish for 1 month. Sometimes shit happens. It's not easy. But the good thing is after I buy the boat and make all this business with the boat. And I stay in the boat that 3-4 months. I living in the boat, and it's my house. The fish don't die. So many fish, and the fish when they arrive to my farm, they are very very well because they start eating in the boat. When I put in the aquariums, they know what is flakes and grains. So it's more simple. It's a good investment I make in the boat. It's also. Logistic is something we don't have in Amazon. We don't have nothing. Sometimes we don't have internet. We don't have a mobile phone. We want to speak with the fisherman to know if he have fish or not, and if he have catch fish, and we don't have any connection. So we need to go there. So it's a different life. But for example. Today you asked me if I'm in Brazil or in Portugal. Well, now I decide to stay in Portugal. It's my country. It's I love to stay in Portugal. Brazil, it's 14 years there, and a little tired for living in Brazil. And I just go to Brazil to make the selection of the fish and back. And I have 3 workers in the farm in Brazil, so they can do my. I select the best fish for me. It's normal, right?
Yeah.
It's normal. So
normal for us.
I don't have nothing to hide. I say this to my wholesalers and the guys who import me a lot of boxes, because the problem is this. It's not the problem. They don't want to pay the expensive for the expensive and rare fish. Okay, so. If they don't want to pay for the expensive fish, it's much more cheaper than what I sell here, of course. If they want to invest in expensive fish, I keep the expensive fish for me. That's what I can do. So they all the time they want the price, cheap price. Okay, I have cheap price also, but not the quality I sell in Portugal, because the fish I sell in Portugal is the top of the top. If they don't want to pay for the top of the top, I keep them for me. That is also one of the reasons I buy this business. I make this business in Portugal, you understand? Because I have amazing fish, and all of them goes to Asia. They go to Thailand, to Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, and the European never have access. They cannot buy this fish because it goes to Asia. Now, in Portugal, okay, they can buy. And they can buy the top of the top quality. I prefer don't sell to the Chinese to stay with them in Portugal and to sell to privates in Europe. And to be very honest, the big surprise is I sell the most expensive fish is the first IFSL.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Sometimes I increase the price so much for don't sell the fish, and comes a guy from Russia, for example, or a guy from France, or and buy that very expensive fish. I don't want to sell. I want to keep them for me to try breeding or something like that, or because I like the fish. And that fish is the first I have sell all the seasons happens this. And it's strange, but there are people in the world with a lot of money to buy very expensive fish. I never believed this. I just I make a business, but I don't expect to sell this fish, But it happens.
Yeah, I mean, you only got to take one look at some of the Asian arowana. The prices they go for is crazy.
And the koi. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I be very honest. I can be Cristiano Ronaldo, a very multi-millionaire guy, but I never pay more than €1,000 for a fish. Never. Sorry. I can be very rich, but I never pay that. But I respect, and I'm very happy for many guys who have that money and more than that money to buy my fish. And it happens with a lot of them. I sell a lot of fish, much more expensive than €1,000. But this is the business. I'm happy for that. I have a big investment here, so I pay most of the investment in 1 year with this kind of price.
I thought about going down the discus route and breeding discus, and there was a couple of people not too far away from me there was a guy who was importing nice fish from Asia, fairly good quality Asian fish, and then they were selling. He was wholesaling to them, and then they were selling privately. And I thought about going down that route, but it's a lot to start up and a lot to lose if it goes wrong. So I just stuck to my guns and just do what I do now. So
and you have 100% right. I tell you, this is a business, but is all the time the big risk, because everything is fine today, everything is fine the last months, but for a small shit or no electricity or something, everything can die or problems, Thank God I don't have kind of problems. I don't have disease. I don't have any kind of shit, but can happen. So is what I tell to my customers. This is a risk business. It's animals, And, I have 1,000 of fish here, and in 1,000 of fish, I have made the quarantines in Brazil. Then I make the quarantines here. I don't have kind of problems. Everything. Fantastic. Every time, each week, the fish are better and better and better. So I'm happy for that. And I'm doing something I cannot do in Brazil, because in Brazil I keep the fish for 3 months and I sell them. I export them. Here I have fish I have here with me for one year. Some of them is the first import I made, and the fish are stunning. So now I can keep the fish for a long time. Yeah,
because you started a breeding project, haven't you, with your fish?
Yes, of course, and that is what I expect it's going to be my future, because I don't want to take for much more years fish from the environment. This year and this season I'm going to make. I'm going to go to Brazil to select fish, but I suppose the rules in Brazil are going to change. And they are speaking, and we have 2 meetings with the Ministry of Environment, and they say they want to stop with this business. So I don't know what's going to happen, but until happens something, I have the project to breeding. And to be very honest, what I really like to do in the discos is breeding.
Yeah.
That is what I start. and this is what I really like. I don't like to put the fish in the bag and export the fish. That is a business, is to win money. But what what I really like, it's smoke a cigarette with a Jack Daniels and looking for them breathing at night. You know, that's it's what I like.
You don't drink that Jack Daniels rubbish, do you?
Well, in the last months, I don't drink. I don't know. I don't have friends near me because we we stay at home, and so the last years I don't. If I drink now, I'm gonna be drunk, you know, because I don't absolutely nothing. Just coffee to stay
awake.
up, you know. Yeah.
I'm like that most of the time. It's Friday night though, so yeah, I've got a beer here next to me. So
Oh, great.
yeah, it's Friday night, you know.
Yeah.
It's Friday night. Well, of course, you're in Portugal, so it's the same time there is here. So that's cool. I didn't realize until I spoke to Felipe, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's the same time." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
I know because I have one of my daughters. She lives in UK, in London, and she works there. So it's because I know what is the time there, and he comes to Portugal to help me in this breeding project because you know, when we make some business, we think about the children and the future. I'm building this to someone. I hope she doing the same, and she comes to help me and to learn how breeding this goes and help me here in the future. So
yeah, it'd be nice to see some good quality, you know, F1s, F2s coming out of your, especially your stock, because I've seen some of the fish. Some of the fish are stunning.
I think it's you know, I think the project is possible. But I know it's gonna take time. You know how is the fish? Everything takes time. We cannot make many ideas and okay, I'm gonna have 4 pairs breeding and I'm gonna have 1,000 of fish to selling every month. No, I need to go step by step. But because I know how is it the discos and. For my experience, I have breeding some wilds in this farm, and I have many couples. They lay eggs, and after a few hours, there's no eggs anymore because in each aquarium sometimes I have 12 fish, 14 fish. So a pair comes and put the eggs and disappear.
So you need to separate the pairs, then, really, don't you? You need to get that up and going. Yeah.
I have 200 meters to building aquariums. Some of aquariums are there, but I need to building more. And when it's ready, I hope in January we start the project. But it's going to take time to have a list of F1 from Golden, from Kuipewa, from, Henkel. I hope to breeding Henkel. I know it's very difficult. Also, for my experience breeding the wilds, I see it takes more time to grow up. Okay.
Yeah, it's not as fast.
Yeah, it's not so fast like the hybrids. I remember the hybrids because I have some movies with Betamax, and I see sometimes the movies when I'm breeding. And in 2 months, the fish have 3-4 centimeters. It not happens the same with the wilds. It's take more time.
Yeah, well, I've heard, I don't know if it's true. You'll know. The wilds make better parents.
Yeah.
As in, look, you know, the wild discus make better parents, you know, for looking after the fry and stuff.
I think so. They are more aggressive. They keep the fish, the babies in the different way. They are more aggressive than the domestic.
Yeah, I've heard that from people who have bred Altums.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Yeah,
It's similar. You know, I have some fish in aquariums. They have attitudes like they have fries. When I take, for example, today I change the water because I have the 2 workers I have here. They go from holidays, so I'm alone with my wife, and I need to change the water I drink so much water. Then we can speak about that because the wilds don't like a lot of change of water. But today is day to change water, and we are change water, and I forgot. And in one aquarium, I have a fish who attack me all the time, me and the workers. So he don't have fries, he don't have any babies, but he's all the time like a piranha. If I put the hand in the aquarium, he comes to me and and fighting with my hand. So that happens until now with two fish in two different aquariums. So what I think is in the future can happen in each aquarium. I have a alpha, can be a male or female, who fighting with someone who put the hand in the water.
Yeah, they're the
It's
boss.
funny. It's funny because I never see this in domestic fish.
I've had it happen with betta before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've one of the male bettas I had in a 30 liter cube. I put my finger by the glass, and he's and he's flaring up at the glass. I'm like, calm down. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, mate.
Yeah. Well, you imagine this fish. I give food, and sometimes I put the food, the pellets. I put inside the water because some food it's floating, and if floating, they goes to the filter. So I put in the water and I put my hand, and this fish comes to me. I give him the food, and he's fighting to me. So when I put the hand, he comes to me and fighting. I say, oh. Today you don't eat for me.
No food for you, mate.
No food for you. You're gonna be skinny.
You're gonna be skinny. Yeah, I'll teach you.
Yeah. Yes.
So, can you tell me more about like the habitats that you find the fish in? Because there seems to be a bit of a lot of people don't seem to realize where these. Well, I mean, they know they come from the Amazon, but some people think, oh, they come from Blackwater, or they come from, and discus don't like any flow and things like that. But it's like I've seen video. I'm not sure whether it was from you or from one of the other biotope videos. I've watched millions on YouTube, and you've got a shoaler discus, and they're swimming into the current, and the current's coming down the river, and
it's one of my videos, and I make that video in the place is Lago Grande.
That's right.
Grande. It's Lago Grande in English is a big lake. Okay, yeah. It's a place with a lot of thousands of fish.
That's a Lago Grande, I think I read it
exactly,
as.
Exactly. Yeah. And the temperature of the water is 23 degrees.
23? That's low.
And unbelievable, because if someone tell me that, I don't believe. But I be there and I see. And also with the big current, and they stay there and they breathing there and they living there, and it's unbelievable. But sometimes this kind of places change everything we have read or we have seen videos, and
Yeah.
But that what's happened in each place is different. The biotop, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But for example, many times I see Amazon biotop. And for you have idea is no kind of plants. You don't see anything green inside the water. What you see is the species of mangrove, some trees, and they living inside them, and very difficult to catch the fish because they're living in the middle of. It's very difficult to the fishermen enter there. Sometimes I make some movies. I think I have some movies.
Yeah.
And, the people can feel how it's difficult for the fishermen.
I think I watched one of yours where you were diving for blue heckles.
Yeah.
And they were amongst a load of roots, and you were going down with these little hand nets, and you couldn't catch the fish because they were just too far.
It's unbelievable how the fishermen can enter inside them and takes the fish. And I have some fishermen fat like me. I'm fat now, and they can enter and they comes with fish, and it's unbelievable. But I think it's experience, and some of them they stay under the water 2 minutes and 2 minutes and a half. It's like like a dolphin. They stay a long time, and sometimes I'm afraid they have some problems because they drink cachaça and they diving at night. So, like we imagine, that is not very good for the health, But what I can do, I don't say to the guy that don't drink. He drink and he goes. And they ask, why you drink when you're diving? It's to be hot inside, So Okay, but it's the most of the place you don't see plants, and you see just well, that mangroves and that
Yeah.
kind
I mean,
of mangroves.
from what I mean, you've been there, so I mean, you would know. But I mean, from video and footage and stuff, and stuff that I've seen, and obviously I've read stuff that Heiko, Heiko Blair, have you
Yeah,
met him? Yeah, and stuff that he's read and stuff that he's put out, and yeah, generally, most discus are found in deeper water and used to a lot of fallen tree branches and wood and leaf litter and pods
yeah.
and things like that, general stuff on the bottom. Um, but I was
It's
talking.
like it's like, sorry to interrupt you. It's like the Stones. Many people, well, also Echo Blair. They in the past, Echo Blair is a big friend I have. Not anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, imagine
I've
because
I've I've heard he's a controversial character. I've not met him.
yeah, but not just that. It's because what he writes in the books, most of the things is not true. One of the books, because in the past I never been Amazon until I go, and I have all the books from Echo. So Echo is like a guru for me. And he comes to my house and my shops one time and see breeding discos, and well, he knows me very well. Then I make a magazine in Portugal about ornamental fish, and he writes some articles. So we have a very very close
Hmm.
relation. But when I go to Brazil, I see many things, and for example, one of the things he says it's the wild discos don't live in the rocks, and I found many places the wild discos living in the rocks, and for example. Like he said one time, Inanu don't exist, and I've been one time. It starts with this. My war with Echo starts with this. He say Inanu is a place, is a community don't exist. And one time I take a picture in Inanu near the church and write Inanu Church, and I Echo. You say Inanu don't exist, but I've been here and in the church and the school, Inanu school. So this is the place, is Inanu. And then start the war because many things he write is not true, and
Hmm.
and we're fighting for nothing, fighting is stupid. But now he hate me and he don't like me anymore. But I don't care about that. I don't need godfathers.
Well, that's it, and it's especially it's mind blowing for people who are new in the hobby as well. I mean, because there's so much information out there now. I mean, when I started keeping fish, you had books. There was no such thing as internet and Google and stuff. And now there's so much internet, so much information on the internet now, and a lot of it is absolute crap.
True,
It's
absolutely true.
absolute rubbish.
Imagine when I start breed discos. I'm gonna tell you this story. I just a few friends know this story. I start breeding discos, and after a few years, of course, like everybody, I married. Okay, so my honeymoon, I go to Malaysia. My wife don't know the Malaysia breeding discos, so I go my honeymoon not for the honeymoon, but to see the breeders. But when she arrived to Malaysia, I go, of course, to the farms, and it's too hot. And with the jet lag, she sleep. And during she's sleeping in the farms, in the sofa, on a chair, I'm speaking with the guys who breeding to have some who have some know-how who I need, because I'm breeding. But if I have more information, it's better for me. It's
Mm.
because I go to Malaysia. We stayed there for 3 weeks, so it's 2 weeks just running Malaysia to see breeders, and 1 week the true honeymoon. Um, so I'm a lot infected, like you see.
Yep.
It's a big problem. So in that time is no internet, and when I speak with the guys from Malaysia, it's by fax. I send a fax,
Yeah.
he sent me a fax. So and they don't speak so well English, and it's very difficult the communication. And I stayed 2 weeks with a guy who don't speak English. Can you imagine, around Malaysia, visit all the breeders, and just like. So it's be like that, but I learned a lot. And I've been in Malaysia many times after that, and I still have good friends there. Many still breeding discos,
Right.
and
I just want to
it's
stop.
nice.
I'll stop you there a minute. It's just been told by Instagram. We've got like 20 seconds remaining. So I don't know if you wanted to cut this short or you want to carry it on. Because what we could do.
I know. Yeah. It passed 1 hour. Oh yeah, it passed.
Yeah. We can cut the live stream and then start again.
Okay. Hello.
Part 2.
You are drinking my favorite beer, Budweiser. You know?
Budweiser. It's not my favorite, but it's all they had in the shop. So
it's one of my favorite.
I don't know if you get it in Portugal, but I'm a real ale fan, real ale drinker. Yeah. Real ale and bourbon is my two favorite drinks. Well, somebody said Great Escape UK said it's been a super chat so far. So
have you been in Portugal anytime?
Never been there. No, I'd love to go. Never been there. Furthest I've been to Turkey. I've been to Tenerife. I've been to Spain. I've been to France.
So you need to come to Portugal because
for sure.
It's a cheap country to drink and to eat and to stay in a hotel. At the same time, the people are very friendly, and we have good beer.
Yes.
Many good reasons for you come to Portugal, and now you have someone who you know, and we can pass 1 or 2 days here. You're going to be crazy if you see the fish we have.
I'll be in love. I won't want to leave.
Yes.
You'll have to get me a bed there.
Why not? The problem is it's too hot. You see because it's more or less 28 degrees now here. I don't use heaters here. You know.
I don't use it. So what temps do you keep your discus at? Because here, when I have my discus, I tend to keep them anywhere from 29 to 30 degrees C.
Now, I keep the discus here. For example, this aquarium, the central aquarium, 2.5 meters. The temperature now is 26. And
that's low. That's low.
Well, you know why? Because, for example, I tell you what's happened in Amazon. If anytime you go to Amazon and you're diving, in the water, in the top, okay, the temperature of the water is between 26 and 27. But if you're diving, and you're diving for 2 meters, for example, most of the time is 2 meters, the place we have the discos, sometimes half of meter, the temperature of the water is 24, 23.
So would you say we keep our fish too warm?
Mm-hmm. I keep here between 26 and 27.
So would that be the same for domestics then?
But the domestic's born in a water more hot. You understand? 28, 29. You know. So I think the difference between many people ask me, can I keep the domestic with the wilds? And I say, of course. But the wilds with 29 is too hot. Too
warm. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
It's not bad, you know. The fish also eat more because the metabolism is bigger. But at the same time, what I see for this year, it's if I have a water like I see in many places, in many customers, private customers I have. If they keep the fish in a temperature of 29 and 30, the eyes, they grow up more. They are more older. I don't know if it's the metabolism or something like that.
I know with other fish, the warmer the temperature, because years ago, before all the fancy medications came out, one of the ways we used to treat white spot, or ick, as people like to call it, is by cranking the temperature up and putting salt in the water. That's the way we used to treat ick years ago, or white spot.
Well, I still use salt in Brazil. Here, I don't put I don't put salt. I don't put for many reasons. One of the reasons is I don't want to have a high conductivity. I have 300. It's the tap water comes with 300. I don't use osmos. I just use natural tap water, passed for some filters and nothing more. I just put peat turf and some leaves of catapa and the beer home. You know the BioHome Ultimate.
Yeah.
I buy in the UK. They.
Well, it's funny. I know Richard.
Ah, you know Richard?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I speak to him on the phone.
Oh, because I want to make a direct, but we never made. It's something funny for the people knows Richie. Many people think Richie is the boss of BioHome, you know, but it's Michael. He's the guy who make the BioHome for the
Yeah,
coils.
yeah.
And I'm the dealer in Portugal. I represent BioHome in Portugal, and all my tanks they have BioHome, and the fish are much better after I use BioHome. It's not make some advertise here, but BioHome is really good.
Yeah.
I don't want to change for nothing. It's
It's
really
it's
really good.
it's pumice based, isn't it? Basically, it's like a
It's
yeah,
like a sand or a ceramic,
yeah, like yeah.
but
I mean,
it's some, it's
I know
something. Tell
in
me,
the
tell me, tell me.
in the koi hobby, they used to use pumice a lot, pumice stone, but it's graded. Pumice stone is graded, so you get a uniform porosity throughout throughout all the granules that you use, and then it comes in different like sizes. And I know a lot of koi keepers used to use them in shower filters, so you'd
And
have like the larger lumps of pumice
the big
in the
one,
shower filters
yeah, yeah.
before they came up with the Backy House media.
Yeah, yeah. And I have when I received the last shipment in February, I have BioHome here, and I try use the BioHome and see with the treatments I made if die many bacterials. And the good thing it's no died so much bacterials when I make the treatments like I made. I make for. Geoflux, flagellates, and hexameter. I use 3 kind of medicaments
Yes.
in different weeks, of course. I never mix it, of course. And no died bacteria, and that is the most important, you know. So BioHome for me, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, because I've seen an article recently by Aquarium. Oh, what was the name? I'll find the link for you, and I'll send it to you. But they basically are trying to say that BioHome isn't what it's cracked up to be, and 30 ppm sponge can hold more bacteria and stuff. And I read it and I thought, I've what's the word I'm looking for? The proof is in the pudding. Do you know what I mean? Like, people have used biological media alongside sponges for many years, and I mean, in the big koi farms, the sponge filters, the mats, they get jetted down with a hose pipe. They don't get washed in tank water like the biological media does. It gets jetted down. It's basically to catch crap, and it just gets jetted down with a hose pipe or a pressure washer. So, like, I'm thinking, well, these guys clearly know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, if it works, why would you change it? And I want to know, like that article, I'd like to know how they tested it. Did they just do like a water change, and then they checked if there was an ammonia spike or something like that,
Yeah.
I was very suspicious. A friend of mine, he's changed he's taken all the BioHome out of his filter now because he's read this article, and he's put this like funny sponge in his tank, in his filter, and I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? And my old tank, the one behind me, is still a new tank. Like I said to you, that's only 3 days old, so the water's still a little bit misty. I still haven't done my first water change on it yet. That's due next week, or end of this week actually. And they used to say to me, "How do you keep your water so crystal clear? Why is your water like gin?" And if I send you the photo of the tank I had before this, and it was one filter. It was a Hydor Pro 450 on a 240 litre tank, if I remember rightly. It was a 900 by 500 by 500 or 90 50 50. And all I had in there was a series of sponges, biological media, and a polishing pad or floss on top. That's all I used, and a surface skimmer. That was it. And people are like, how'd you get your water so clean? Oh my God, it's so clear. It's like gin, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, that's my filter. I use tap water. I use a good quality water conditioner, and I do 50% changes every week. That's how I keep my water clean. Nothing else. I don't put no chemicals in the water. I don't fanny with the water at all. That is how my water is. And that's how my water is in all my tanks and all my customers' tanks as well. And people are like, oh my God, it's like, there's no secret.
Yes, it's not, and I tell you, you do the right thing because we are involved in the big market, and when you go to a pet shop, you see how many kind of brands and things to put in aquarium, and the people sometimes the sellers say this is good and this gonna be very good for your aquarium and this is better and use this and this, and the guy expend a lot of money with just shits, That is my opinion, okay? When I have shops in Portugal, I'm a bad buyer, a bad seller, because the people comes to buy, for example, pit turf liquids. I say, don't buy that. And you say, why? Because buy the pit turf, but the pit turf, and put hot water in the pit turf, and you have the pit turf liquids in the bottles. You understand? So don't buy the bottle because it's when you make a change of water, it goes everything. The pit turf is during much time, and so these kind of things we can put in aquarium. I don't agree. Okay, so I don't make part of the business of the things we can buy to put in aquarium. I make like you. I like to make everything natural. I don't like resins. I don't like osmos. But this is my opinion, and I never use. Okay, or I use and I don't like it. Because change a lot the water, and we will speak today about that. When we change a lot the water, it can be a disaster. So I prefer to keep everything natural and very simple and not expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you're doing it from a commercial point of view. So if it's expensive, it's going to impact on your business.
Yeah. And for example, in this place in Portugal, this is not a place that people can enter. It's closed. Okay, I just sell online. But what I sell online is things I know it's working, and I also use. You understand? So I advertise that things, and I sell that things because I use, and I know it's really good. And there's a few things, and there's a few things I sell in my online shop. It's not my main business. The main business is the discos, of course. But when a guy buy 2 discos, I have space in the box for the guy buy a food or a medicament, and you don't pay any kind of transport. It's because that is not my business. Is not sell products or light. Or,
I'm a firm believer in keeping the water stable. Don't chase the pH. Don't chase the parameters. Keep it stable. If your water is 7.2 out of the tap, keep it at 7.2 out of the tap, and just keep your water clean. Don't chase KH and GH and all that nonsense. You don't need to. Just keep it stable and clean, and the fish will be fine. The amount of customers I go to, and they've got this pH up and pH down and GH additives and KH additives, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, how much chemicals are you going to give to your fish? Jesus. And like, if I can solve a problem in a tank without using chemicals, then I will. Like the classic one for me is green water. When people go, I've got green water, what can I do? Oh my God, I've used this algae product and it worked for 5 minutes, and now my tank looks like pea soup again. What do I do? And I say, it's simple. It's such a simple thing. There's been an increase in nutrients in your tank, and you've got excess light on the tank. That is what's caused green water. Well, how do I get rid of it? Well, increase your oxygen, do a water change, stop feeding, and do a blackout for a few days. And then when you remove the cover from your tank, your water will start getting clear. If there's direct sunlight, block it, because obviously that's going to give you the problem again. And you're probably overfeeding, so cut your food down. And I've got loads of pictures on my business page of people that have had green water, and I've just done those simple things, and they've gone, oh my God, my water's clear again. And it's like, well, I've never had green water in my life.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
But I don't need to use a chemical. There's not a chemical gone in there. You don't need to.
But you know, my idea is this. You know, we are like when we sell fish. Just this example: when we sell fish and the people receive the fish at home, they put me well in the top. They say, "Oh, wonderful fish! The fish are amazing, fatly. You are the best. The fish are unbelievable." And I know the fish are like that. But then they start make shits with the water, like you say. They put the pH to down. Then the pH down too much. They put the pH to increase the pH. And then what's happened with the fish? The fish never going to be okay, because the fish have a pH 4, then have a pH 6, then they have a pH 5.5, then put a little more liquid, and the pH comes to 7. So, and the fish start to be sick, and sometimes they hide, and sometimes they start to be black, and then it's like a coach. I'm the best, and after 1 month, I'm a shit, you know, because my fish is a problem, and the fish are not well. And what I can do, because I try to explain like you to the people, to make the simple way to keep the fish, and the people prefer to buy things and put in the water. I don't understand why. It's like the people who all the time are moving the aquarium and change the things inside the aquarium all the time with the hands in the aquarium. It's like I said to the guys, if you have a giant inside your house with the big hands all the time, take the chair to here and your table to there and your bed for there, you're going to be happy, or you're going to be all the time in stress if you have a big giant change everything in your house. So this is the best example. Don't change nothing. Just give food to the fish and change water sometimes, please. You know, so it's like that. You know. Sometimes I be nervous with these kind of things. You know, but I'm cool. But the people I know the people wants the best for the fish. You know. But the best for the fish is don't make many things. Buy the fish. Keep the fish, giving food, make some change of water. Not many when we speak about wild discos. The wild discos don't like many change of water. Have a good filtration. Not to put 10 fish in a small place, because you're gonna have problems. Sometimes I say sometimes I have customers who have aquarium with 300 liters, and I say, oh, put 50 for each fish. And I know the guy have 500 liters, and the guy have buy 12 fish. And I say, these 2 fish goes to another aquarium? No, it's for the same aquarium. And I say, no, I don't sell you more fish. That's enough. Or you buy a new aquarium because you want to have problems. You know how is the people who is infected like me, but he don't have the know-how. So he wants just to put fish, and sometimes they cannot move inside the aquarium. And it's me who sell the fish, who say, please don't buy more fish, because you're gonna have problems. So sometimes I'm not good for me, you know. Sometimes
I'm a little bit different to you. I mean, I allow, say, 30 liters per adult fish, but then that'll depend on your filtration system.
Of course,
you know,
and the quantity of food, and if you give frozen food like beef hearts.
Well, I never feed that.
Never. I never give. Well, in the past, yes.
I never feed it.
One of these days, I start giving to my wild discos here some mussels. Mussels,
yeah. Mussel mix, yeah.
Yeah. If you have discos, one time try. because they be crazy. I know they're going to be crazy. But in the past, I mix it with the beef heart and I put some fruits. And so it's destroyed the water, you know, and also destroy the part of when we drink a lot, we have problems in
your kidneys.
Yes, of the fish, you know, grow up a lot. So beef heart is not good for the fish. It's
no.
I just give flakes and grunts for tropical when we keep them in Amazon until here. And this my advertise is tropical because I don't have problems. They are fatty, and also the new food with probiotics. It's unbelievable. I'm not here to sell tropical, okay? But all the foods who have probiotics, I think, is change a lot the nutrition of the food.
Yeah.
Because I see the results.
I'm talking going back in the day when I first kept Discus, I would feed. Do you know Tetra Prima?
Yes, of course.
In the yellow tub, that was my staple. I fed that to my Discus every day of the week until the weekend, and then they would have frozen or live. So I would feed them bloodworms or brine shrimp,
mosquito,
and anything like that on a weekend. So maybe 5 days a week they were on dry, and then 2 days a week they would be on frozen or live. I tended to go with frozen because you can introduce nasties with live, but you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? But now I use Fish Science. Fish Science.
What is that?
It's a brand. It's a brand of food.
Oh.
Well, Dr. Dave Poole, who owns Fish Science, he was involved in the Tetra Prima project.
Mm-hmm.
But his food is insect meal based. So rather than he does use fish meal in some of his foods, but most of his foods, like the tropical flake and a few of the others, are insect meal based. Mm-hmm. He also has a worm pellet, so it's like a semi-soft pellet, but it's got like earthworm, silkworm, and I'm not sure whether there's one or two more worms in the pellet. It's very high protein. It stinks. I find fish love it because it stinks.
And then what is your experience? The fish?
All my fish. Now, I haven't got Discus in here currently, but a friend of mine's got Discus, and I took some food with me and I put it in there, and they annihilated it. The other thing I give them is krill flakes.
Yep.
Because obviously krill is color enhancer for red. So if you've got say cariperas or alencas or any fish with red, you feed a krill based food, especially a high quality krill based food, and the reds they pop. They really do pop. They're really nice. So I'm sort of talking back and forth with Dave from Fish Science to come up with a Discus food. So in my experience feeding, I used to feed like a garlic based frozen food, so it had garlic in it, and I never had any internal problems when I fed food with garlic in it at all.
And you know, my experience is, for example, today when I arrive here, I give a food is 3 algae from tropical. Okay, it's the flakes. Then I give some D-alue with garlic, and then I go lunch, and when I back, I give some probiotic, the ProDefense. So what I doing is I try to give all the kind of foods and mix it during the different days of the week. So they don't eat all the time astacolor to have more red or D-alue for the garlic. I try to mix it like us. We cannot eat all the time cakes or ice creams, or I like, but I cannot eat every day and all the days the same. So I try to eat meal and then fish and vegetables. Try to make a good nutrition.
Yeah.
The probiotic, what I see, it's the fish grow up very fast, and the colors are absolutely stunning.
I think that is why beef heart became very popular, because it made fish fat quickly.
With the protein.
Yeah,
It's a lot of protein.
it's pretty
But
much all protein apart from the fat
yeah,
content.
yeah, yeah.
So I know people have tried to amend that by using things like turkey heart and stuff like that because it's lower in fat.
Exactly, exactly.
My argument to that is, like, even with domestic discus, they all descend from wild discus at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you find beef heart in the Amazon River?
Of course not. And if you ask me, and
Unless
if
a
you
cow falls in.
and if you ask me what they eat in the environment, in the middle of the rivers and the lakes in the Guarapé, they just eat algae. The most of the food they have, and they are skinning because the people think, oh, the fish are fatly in Amazon. No, the fish all the time they are hide for the predators, like the anacondas, like the piranhas.
Yeah, which is why the dark bars on there for
Exactly.
camouflage.
So all the time they are in stress, you know. So for feeding, for eating, all the time is a problem for the discos because they are worried with the predators near them, like the piranhas, of course, and at the same time they need to find the food. So they are near the trees, and they, I think the algae in the trees.
Yeah. So I think anything with spirulina in it,
of course,
that we have. Well,
Yeah.
spirulina is a natural appetite enhancer anyway. It's also a color enhancer as well.
Yeah.
People don't realize, but I was talking to Dave and I forget his name now, John, and they were saying that spirulina, although it's green, people don't realize it's a red color enhancer as well. But it's appetite. It stimulates appetite.
Yeah. But the beef heart, no. In Amazon, in the environment, they don't have beef heart. And
No.
they have sometimes they have some fruits. And for example, is a place where I found the biggest wild discos I have found in all my life in Amazon. Is some fish have 21, 22 centimeters. I have a few of them here. 22 is
10
something. 22, yes. It's something like this. It's like a plate. It's really big, and in this place they have some trees with this very small fruit, a green fruit, like a granulated, a gran. What I don't know, because I'm not a biology and I never have make these experiments.
You should take a sample of it and get it tested. See what it is.
Yeah, I can do that. But the point is, the fish are big because that fruit, or the fish are big because the at the end, because, well, the place is a place for big fish. Because, for example, if you go to Quipewa, you don't see many fish with more than 15 centimeters. Okay, the bigger have 1.5, 15, 16 centimeters. If you go to this place in Trombetas, the fish, most of them, they have 18, 19, 20, and sometimes 22. So
could that be lack of predators, Mike?
Well.
Could that be the lack of predators? Could there be like less predatory fish there?
No, the same.
Same. Oh, okay.
The same.
So purely diet.
In Quipewa, you see thousands of alligators. Thousands. In Trombetas, you see, but not so many. But you see, for example, many anacondas because they have big ones there. So all of them, they eat discos. For example, that place you speak about, I have found this season. And I found because I have a drone and I'm running with the boat and I see 2 lakes by the drone and I say to the fishermen, stop here, come back. Let's go to that lake to see if there's any fish there. And
so
they found.
Is that lake cut off then? Is it cut off from the main river, or is it fed by the river?
Cut off.
So, like, because generally a lake is like a large body of water, but it's usually only fed by a small stream, or if there's a stream at all, it could be an underground spring. So.
It's like that. It's like that. This lake, you never see when you go with the boat, because this is trees, and we go inside in the arm of the river, and so the trees hide the big lake in the middle of that part of the land.
That's what I thought.
Yes, and what's happened? The water just entered in the lake when come the rain, and the level of the water,
Yeah, so it is. So yeah, it's cut off from the main river for a lot of time.
Yeah, and so what's happened in this place? The fish enter and they cannot go out when the water starts down, and they reproduce. And what's happened? I see fish with a central bar, like an ankle, a mixed ankle. I see fish red. I see fish brown, blue. So I see all the kind of fish in that lake because they enter and they can go out. So they are breeding it. It's unbelievable.
So
And
do you think the golds are across then? Do you think the golds are a crossbreed?
Oh, for sure. But it's a very far away place for the place we found the ankle. So I don't understand why so many fish with the big bar, central big bar.
It could just be that maybe you had a big storm or something, and some of the heckles got landlocked. They got stuck in the lake, and they just bred with discus that's there.
But this for me the most different wild discus I have found in these 14 years. It's today I have a Spanish in the morning come here. He comes from Spain. He's in the holidays, and he comes with all the family. And the wife will tell me he comes to Portugal just to meet you and to see your farm. And I said, oh, unbelievable! He comes to Spain just to Lisboa to see my farm and my fish. And yes, she's crazy for is another infected. And the guy looking for the golden and see this is all golden fish, and I say yes, but why is so different? And I try explain like I'm explaining to you. So it's fantastic fish with colors. Until now, I don't know what's gonna be because they are changing.
Okay.
It's fantastic, and I don't have many, a few. One of them goes to UK this week for a guy, Phil. I think you know him.
Phil Newman.
Yeah, Phil Newman. So
yeah, he lives like 10 minutes away from me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's nice.
I know him. I've been in his house. He's been in my house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the Garrett also.
Gareth, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gareth Harden. He lived
exactly.
10 minutes away.
Oh, he's also near you.
He's just got 18 Cuipera.
Yeah. He buy the first, the last two fish he buy from us, and arrived this week. I think Wednesday arrive, and he say I never see nothing like this fish. It's unbelievable.
Because he's got a yellow heckle.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, he's got
Phil
no, Gareth. Yeah, Gareth's got a yellow heckle.
To Phil, I sell one of my private collection. I have all the time some collections for me, but then I sell. My wife say we need to make money, so sell the fish, please.
I hope his wife doesn't know how much he paid for the fish.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't say that. Don't say that. It's a big problem for Phil. He tell me.
I know because he ordered it when he was drinking, and she was looking over his shoulder when he ordered it.
Oh shit! Do you know what's happened with my first wife?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. One time she arrived home. I arrived home and very, very late because I've been in the shop until 11 o'clock at night, and she's very mad with me, very angry. And then he say, "You need to decide, or the fish, or me," and start a divorce there. It's a big problem, but happens. So I decide for the fish. Well. Not
of course.
We don't divorce because but this is the beginning of the problems, But I don't have problems to feel because he tell me one of these days, he tell my wife cannot know the price of the fish. And I say I can make a voice for 10 euros or 5 euros if you want, if you wish. There's no problem. But
she's not stupid though. She knows it's going to be more than that. She's not daft. She's not daft.
Yeah. I don't see many humans in the hobby.
Many what?
Humans.
Humans? Oh,
Yeah. Humans, ladies.
oh, ladies. Okay. No,
Yeah.
there's not in the discus hobby. In the fish keeping and aquascaping, they yeah, but not many people keeping discus.
Yeah. It's a hobby. Discos is a hobby for men.
Mostly, yeah. It's funny
Yeah.
though. My this tank behind me is the biggest tank I'm allowed because I can't fit one anywhere else.
Yeah.
So when I said to my wife, "Look, I'm going to have a bigger tank, but don't worry, I'm going to put discus in it," and she was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, but you
Yeah.
are a lucky guy. You are
Well,
a lucky.
she doesn't like really sort of understand my hobby and my business, but she does like discus, so I'm lucky there, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's nice. It's nice because most of the problems we have in this business is the ladies, you know, because many people say I cannot buy the discos because my wife, if she knows the price, she's gonna kill me. I'm gonna have problems. So
Yeah,
I prefer don't buy, or when you have cheaper
I tell you what,
fish.
sometimes discus can be more dangerous than flipping drugs. I tell you.
Oh, for sure. Yes, for sure, man. For
It's
sure.
true.
For
It's
sure.
true.
True.
It
This
is.
is a vicious. This is a vicious. And with this problem of the virus, the coronavirus, many people stop to come here because in January, February, I have visitors from Holland, from Belgium, from France. Many people comes to Portugal, and why not comes to visit Hugo and the place. So then stop in March, everything stop. But between January and end of February, I have a lot of people who comes here, and I have also one guy who take he have a plane. Can you imagine? He have a plane and comes here to just to see the discos. He comes in his personal plane and comes just a few hours to checking the discos and buy some of them. So I have a lot of people in Europe who comes here, but now with COVID and this problem, everything stopped. Today
Yeah.
I have a Spanish, but it's the first time after this big problem I have a foreigner visit here to see the fish. But this is a place where the people who is infected be more infected after come here, for sure.
It's like, oh god, yeah. Well, I was gonna be because we've probably got about 20 minutes left at the most now because we've
Okay.
been talking for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what are the? I mean, obviously, there's a multitude of tetras that you see swimming around with wild discus. I think I've got it right in there with a couple of. I've got black neons and rummy nose tetras in this tank because I said to you before the live stream, this is a Upper Namunda
Yeah.
based tank, so I'm trying to go for that style. But I've added a few plants because I like plants. So what other species do you see with the blue discus, like the blue face heckles? I mean, I know you probably will see Corridorus, but do you know what species are there, or is there multitudes of species, different species, or?
In Yamunda, we don't see many species of ornamental fish. Tetras, a few plecos. Just because it's like this. Yamunda is an island, okay? And in Yamunda, we see some plecos and some different ornamental fish. But if we go to Low Yamunda, is where the place of the ankle is more or less by about 3 hours.
Is is that clear water also, or is that
Very clean water. Very
yeah?
clean water.
Okay.
In Yamunda and Low Yamunda, yes, very clean water. We can make good movies there when we have time. But no, we don't see any corridors. We don't see, and also just some parrot. How I say? You know,
True,
a fish, a parrot. A parrot.
true parrot. Yeah.
Yes.
The greenish color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Many. many. And here the discos and scalar,
Yeah, angelfish. Yeah,
angelfish,
yeah.
uh, tetras, and well, and fish to eat, of course. Like
Yeah.
what the fish to eat? The fish to eat, and many people who keeps them. It's
So do you see because from stuff that I've spoken to you, but I've spoken to H&K Discus as well, who also do a similar thing to you. They import from Brazil, don't they? And he said that you find like dwarf pike cichlids and like wood cats and stuff.
well, uh, I don't see. I never see. But also look. I'm not the guy who fishing the fish, who collect the fish.
Yeah, of course.
That is the fisherman's. Most of the time I'm inside of the boat, just waiting for the guys comes with the fish. So sometimes I'm diving, and sometimes I'm with the people who comes in the expeditions, and I'm diving with them, and we're looking for the fish. But usually in the beginning, well, I do that because everything is new for me, and I'm very excited to see everything. Now, after these years, it's a little boring waiting for the fisherman comes with the fish to select by hand, and sometimes happens like this. They catch 200 fish and I take one. So you can imagine how I feel, because the guy wants money and stay one night fishing and diving with another guy and comes with 200 fish and I just select one. So I don't feel very well. Sometimes I take more too, because the guy is very sad, because waiting for the money. So sometimes you understand my point of view. Sometimes I not feel very well. But I just take what I really like. But they know must be round, must be the small eye. But
I think we've got the same eye for a fish, I think.
But for the fisherman, he don't care about that.
No,
it's just one more disco. He wants to sell all of them, and well, it's. But I lost many nights. Wake up waiting for the guys to collect the fish, and sometimes I also a little sad and not angry because it's not his fault. But he bring a lot of fish and just one because or he have a defect or it's too small. And I say to see the fish when you catch. You see, if it's not good fish, don't take the fish. Put them again in the water, and they say, but it's dark and we don't see very well. And I understand, but that happens. Sometimes they take 200 and I take 20, 25. It depends. It's a kind of luck because it's so much water, it's so many places.
Yeah.
And sometimes they catch good fish, and sometimes they don't get any good fish. It's a kind of luck. I have a star all the time in the sky looking for me. I'm a lucky guy, all the time I have a lot of luck, but not all the moments, in this part, in the fishing, but it's, this is exciting, but like everything is exciting in the first years. Now it's not any more exciting. If you ask me, do you go to Brazil when? I think I go in September. And you go happy? I don't go happy because I'm a little tired of Amazon. The quality of life is not like we have here and you have in your home. You sleep in a net, and sometimes you don't eat so well, and it's different, but it's working, and I need to make that. And also it's how I say, it's working. Okay, it's nothing more than working, because it's nice to go to Amazon for 2 weeks. If you go anytime, it's amazing. 2 weeks is amazing. It's everything new for you. It's an amazing place. It's unbelievable. But living there like I have living, and now go again, it's a little boring.
Well, if it's boring for you now, then maybe you should see if you look for different species, as well as the discus. I mean,
But that is difficult to find. You know why? Because what's happened in the last years, the change of the weather and this change of climatic change, what's happened is 10 years ago, we have the river down the water, and we have 3-4 months to select fish. And now, in the last 3 or 4 years, we have 1 month. So the river down, and in 1 month up again. And we don't have time to select all the fish.
Okay.
That is a big problem, you know. So we have 1 month, 1 month and a half to running for all the communities to find the best fish. And each time the time is short. For example, last year we have 1 month for the fishermen catch and select the fish. So we don't non-stop. It's day and night working to go to all the places, and the boat is not so quick, you know. It's slow, you know. It's
Yeah.
you know. So it's so sometimes it's a little is some stress, because we know we need to go to 5 or 6 communities, and all of them is too far away. For you have idea, from Santarém to Tefé, we take 6 days.
Bloody hell.
In my boat. Not just the fuel we need to this trip, but also the time, because 6 days in 6 days we go near that Santarém area, Trombetas, Yamundá. We go in 24 hours, 18 hours. So you understand, we can go many places in 6 days. And to go to Tefé, we lost 6 days to go and 6 days to back. So go to Tefé all the time. It's we go, we don't go, we go. We're gonna lose the fishing time. What we gonna do?
Am I right in thinking that the spotted green from Tefé is the price is down to the amount of spots? Is that right?
Yeah. But and it's very difficult. You know why I don't like the green Tefé? Because the shape and the eye is very difficult to find a round shape and a small eye. I think I think it can be impossible. Or you buy very small, or you buy very small. This here we take more than 300 the green Tefé, and half of them they have 11 centimeters. And yes, these ones, they some of them are very round with a lot of spots in the small eye. But, well, of course, we sell very quick. I keep a few of them there. But some of them are not round fish, you know. It's very difficult to find a round shape.
They're pointier in the face, aren't they?
Yes, and a big eye. And I don't like it, you know. It can be a lot of spots. It's full of spots. But if it's not round, if it's not a small eye, I don't like it. But
no.
I need to think about the customers, because some of the customers don't care about that. You understand?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's my fault, because I just bring the fish who I like, and they must be perfect, you know. And the market don't live just for that kind of fish. It's something I need to put in my mind. I need to have some cheaper fish, okay? That cheaper fish cannot be Hugo who selects, but anyone, also the fishermen's, and bring that fish to Portugal to sell for a cheaper price. For the people who don't want to expend a lot of money in one fish, and people who don't care about the shape and the size of the eye and the color of the eye, you know.
Yeah.
But I try to make a different business. I try to have here the top of the top. Perhaps I need to have also not so good quality, because there's many people who don't care about that, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who go for the color or the spots.
I think most of the people goes for the price.
Yeah, as well.
Oh, I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that.
It's like I said to you in messages before. It's a very price-driven market, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got, say, I don't know, say a blue-faced hackle, he's perfectly round. He's got a lovely small eyes, red. the color is beautiful, the patterns are lovely. But then the next guy, he's got a heckle. It's the same size. It's not quite so round. The eye's not quite so, but he's like cheaper. Then someone will buy that fish.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. But I need to see. I don't have much time. I have more 2 months to understand what strategy I need to make for next year. If I still have the top of the top of, I gonna have the common fish like everybody have. But of course, I need to keep the fish minimum 6 to 7 months, because I just sell the fish when they are fatly and with a good health, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a different kind of business like everybody made. Is buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell is not my way. That is what's happened with me many years ago when I import wild discus. And I don't agree, I don't like it. So I cannot make that. I need to keep the fish for a long time, feeding, make the quarantines, the fish are fatly, have, you know, when you see in the front, the fish are like you know, must be like that. And then I can sell the fish, you know. It's I try to make a different business. Well, some people say I'm crazy, but what I can do.
Aren't we all? Well, we've got about 5 minutes left, so
it's very, you know, the time speaking about discus for me. I lost the time.
I could probably do another 2 hours, but I think my wife would probably shout at me.
I'm sure, and my wife is looking what's happened here. I need to go to home. If not, she's looking, I go to the party or something like that.
Yeah, true.
Or something.
So I suppose you go. If anyone wants to shoot a couple of quick questions over before we sign off, and then I'll say say goodbye. But if nobody's got any questions to ask, either myself or you, then we'll sign off now and maybe do this again sometime.
Yes, let's try to make in Facebook, because we have a lot of followers, and many times the people ask me why I don't make more live stream, but the problem is time. And but now we can make that. You make some questions, other people make some questions, and you interview and you make something in the middle, you know.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do now, once this is, because I'll upload this onto Instagram TV or IGTV.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do then is I'll go in and I'll download it, and then I'll edit any like long pauses or like the bits where I'm waiting for you to join and things like that, and then I'll put it on YouTube, and also I'll share it onto Facebook as well. So then like you can share that with your Facebook, with your your Facebook followers. I share it with mine, and I'll put it on my group, and that kind of thing. So
let's do it. Let's do it. I'm with you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
So if anyone hasn't, if there's no questions to come in, then I'll say goodbye and we'll sign off and do this again sometime.
Yep, of course. Anytime.
Okay.
It's just plan, and I'm here for you.
Okay,
it's
cool.
It's a pleasure. Okay.
All right then.
Richard,
take care.
Thank you. Good weekend.
And you.